Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre market this morning, we've got stock index futures and gold trading lower, while crude oil is up 90 cents. And Bitcoin is also lower. It's down about $2,000 in the pre market on Thursday morning. Well, yesterday the TSX was down 271 points. It ended at the upper channel line, so certainly a mathematical possibility of a sell signal on Thursday. We had three sectors in the market higher yesterday: healthcare, which really doesn't mean anything; consumer communication services, infotech were all up. What didn't work yesterday, utilities, was the big loser on the day. Now, the other day when we watched the market react to what happened in Venezuela, I said, hold up a couple of days before you do anything. And unfortunately, the market has continued to move lower. You can see that we had for Canadian natural resources a high in November, a lower high in December, and now a lower high in January. And then you can see the low in December, and now we've made a lower low. So a lot of the energy sector looks like this at the moment, which is a very bearish looking chart. We are trying to hold the lows from October, and that could certainly be a turning point for for this particular stock if it can hold the October low and try to find some new money at that low point. But we'll just have to wait and see. There's certainly no sign of that happening on Thursday morning. Now, a couple of stocks that were selling off yesterday that don't usually show up at the bottom of the performance list. We had Canadian Pacific, which is already on a sell signal, and now we've got Canadian National joining Canadian Pacific on a sell signal. A quick look at the U.S. market. The VIX, which while the major indices have been moving higher, the VIX has not been in sync with that, telling us that options traders have been very conservative and concerned at the moment. We do have a new buy signal for the VIX for the S&P 500. There's the pros just about to take control. The VIX for the NASDAQ has been on a buy signal for the last couple of days, and you can see the pros taking control. And there's the VIX for the Russell 2000 back on a buy signal as of Wednesday's close. And you can see the pros are getting pretty close to taking control there. So if we see the VIX continue to move higher from here, that of course is bearish for stocks, as we can see that options traders are starting to pay more premium for portfolio insurance. And if that trend continues, then we expect the stock market to head down from this particular point. A little movement in the currency market. There's the Australian dollar making a new high yesterday for this particular move. On Tuesday, the British pound made a new high for this particular move. Of course, both are still on buy signals. Then we get to the Canadian dollar, and you can see what happened on Monday. Then fall through to the downside on Tuesday and on Wednesday. So certainly what happened in Venezuela is affecting the Canadian dollar at the moment. Now, looking at the world of commodities, and we'll start off with energy. There's a crude oil down $1.14 yesterday. It's up 90 cents in the pre-market this morning, so certainly not enough to change the trend. And we can't see any evidence that the pros want to take control at the moment. We found support at the 54.69 level a couple of weeks ago, and we'll have to see if that level holds. But this is a pretty ugly looking chart. We've made a series of lower highs, a series of lower lows. That's a bearish chart pattern. And of course, we have to make a higher high to start breaking this pattern. We're not expecting that to happen on Thursday. Natural gas, which has started trading below the $3 level, turned around yesterday. The pros are nowhere near taking control at the moment, and we're trying to find support at the 273 level if natural gas wants to continue lower from here. Looking at the Canadian Energy ETF, the iShares for the TSX energy sector made a new low for this move on Wednesday. And you can see that we made a lower high a couple of days ago, and now we're making lower lows. That's a bearish chart pattern. Looking at the mining sector, all the metals were down yesterday. Copper, we had gold down on the day. We've got platinum down over 7% yesterday, and we've got silver down over 4%. So we do not have any sell signals here. Looked like some profit taking yesterday, and we'll have to see if that continues over the next couple of days. We could certainly see some sell signals. There is the TSX Global Mining Index. It was down a little over 0.5%. The base metals were down just under 1/3%, and then we had gold stocks down just under 0.5%. So no major pullback so far, but we are certainly anticipating sell signals over the next couple of days. Looking at the banking sector, it's still holding up fairly well. We do have a sell signal or two. Looking at the ETF for the Canadian financials, we're still trading at the upper channel line. Saw a little more weakness in the banking ETF. We're looking for a close below $58.52. We closed at $58.81 yesterday, so certainly in striking distance of a sell signal. Bank of Montreal holding up fairly well. Bank of Nova Scotia is on a sell signal. Waiting for a sell signal here for CIBC. Then we've got the National Bank already on a sell signal, so no change there. Then looking at the Royal Bank, we're just on the edge of a new daily sell signal. TD Bank holding up a little better than the Royal Bank. Looking at the TSX most actives, we've got a couple of winners here still, but then we've got a bunch of losers. If you look at the list here, the TD Bank, Manulife, and Kinross are all holding up fairly well. If we move through these, we looked at the TD Bank a second ago. There's Manulife trading above the upper channel line, inside day yesterday. Then Kinross, which was actually up on the day yesterday, making a new high for this move. Then looking at Cenovus, new low for that stock on Wednesday. Then B2 Gold, which has been struggling even with the price of gold making higher highs recently. B2 Gold has not participated. Then we've got TC Energy down, making a new low for this move on Wednesday. Bank of Nova Scotia, we already talked about. Capstone Mining still on a buy signal here, looking for a close below $13.54 on Thursday to give us a sell signal. There's Baytech. Baytech still on a buy signal here, looking for a close below $4.27. We closed at $4.30 yesterday. TELUS still holding up here. It's not really going anywhere at the moment, but it's filled that gap. Next target to the upside is 1875. The pros are getting closer to taking control, so we'll just have to wait and see. There's no reason to be a seller of TELUS on Thursday morning. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks like we're going to see a little selling at the open on Thursday morning. Have a great day. I won't be back on Friday. I've got a doctor's appointment in the morning and need to do some traveling to get there. So I won't have time to do a video. But if you remember, next time you'll hear from me will be on Sunday. So have a great day today, and we'll talk to you again soon.